So today I'm going to be showing you how I made my Pickles dreadlocks and what I did with the bald cap. I will be wearing this to Ramencon, so if you are going, please stop by and say hi. Now, the only warning I'm going to give you guys, this tutorial is not difficult at all. It is very tedious, and you have to have a lot of patience. But overall, it's very simple, and I'm going to start off by showing you how I made his dreads. So to start the dreadlocks, what you're going to do is you're going to take a ball of yarn, and I only have some scrap yarn here, but you're going to wrap it around your hand, and you can make it as long as you want, however long you want the dreadlock to be, but you want it to loop kind of like this. So you'll have an end like this loop, and then what you're going to do is with the yarn that's looped at the bottom, go ahead and cut that off so you have a bunch of free ends now. Oop. Alrighty. So you should have just one long piece of yarn right now. But keep it looped in the center around your finger like that, because then what we're going to do is, and I'm just using a chair leg just because it is easier. I strongly recommend using a table leg or a chair leg or, something like that just to keep it down. You can also tape it to a desk. You can also tape it to a desk. Just anything to keep the bundle you now have taped down. And just for the sake of the tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how I did this using two different colors of yarn. And I just think that'll be easier to show you the technique I used. So I'm going to be using white and orange. So with the orange strands here, and if you want this to be just a bit easier, you can actually braid these, which I'm going to do just because it is easier. You don't have to braid it all the way down, just enough that it's going to keep the strings in place. So I only did it about a third of the way down. And then taking the white yarn, you're going to wrap it a little longer than the dreadlock you have here, and you're only going to need about 4 or 5 strands, maybe more. So once you have about 4 or 5 strands, you're going to cut that. And the only thing you're going to do differently is you're also going to turn it, and you are going to cut the top loops as well. So now you should have 4 strings. And then here's the kind of hard part. It's not as hard as it sounds, it's just kind of hard to follow. So you're going to separate these strands so that they lie flat, like that. And then you're going to, and I will move this a bit closer so you guys can see, you're going to wrap it. So you're going to take this, you're going to take the white yarn, and you're going to cross it over the top of the orange. And then make sure that they're smooth. And pull it tight as you do this, just so that it won't unravel later. You're going to wrap it around like that, and then you're going to continue all the way down the dreadlock. If you run out of yarn, what you're going to do is take another bundle with the same number that the first one had. You're going to smooth it out like you did last time. Now you're going to move the loose end of the first bundle out of the way. And you're going to, oh, you can't see over my hand. You're going to move the first bundle out of the way. So you have this little tail here. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take your new strand, and much like when we first started this, you're going to wrap it over the bundle. But now you're going to kind of hold it off to the side. Finish wrapping using this one, or using the first bundle. Finish wrapping. Then take your new bundle and wrap it around the loose ends of the old one, and then continue wrapping all the way down. Okay, so to finish the dreadlock off, what you're going to do is, taking the loose ends of the white yarn, you're going to basically just tie a knot. So you're just going to wrap them around like this, then pull the loose ends through the knot. And this is why I strongly recommend using the same colored yarn for this. That's what I did for the Pickles dreadlock, is because when you tie this knot, you're going to see the color underneath as well as the color that you just used. So tie that knot, and I'm going to double knot it just to make sure that it's completely secure. So once it's knotted, just cut the free ends. So you should have a little edge that looks like that, and it doesn't look very pretty now, but it will help us later on in the tutorial. And at the top, you're just going to cut that free piece we had there. And I forgot to mention that it does help a lot if you knot the piece. So if you tie it in a knot before tying it to the table, just because it's going to prevent these from unraveling. But I completely forgot to do that. Not that it really matters for me, because I'm just using this as a demonstration, but it will matter if you are using this for your costume. So this is what it'll look like. It does look a little weird until you have it glued to your wig or to your bald cap, which I'm going to show you how I did that next. So to attach it to the bald cap, I actually used Patch Kit vinyl adhesive, which you can pretty much find in any pool repair kit. And I just figured that since it's supposed to hold even underwater, that it would hold pretty good, which it actually does. And you're just going to put a little dot, or not a dot, you're going to put quite a bit on the back of that knot that we made when we finished the dreadlock. And you're just going to press it to your bald cap for a good 20 seconds. And once it's dry, it should hold pretty well. It's not too heavy, actually, and I'll show you just how my Pickles dreadlocks turned out. So this is what my dreadlocks look like after being attached to the bald cap. And they seem to be holding pretty well. I did do this over 24 hours ago, and they're still all there. I haven't had to make any repairs yet. I actually need to add more dreadlocks to this, which is kind of surprising. But yeah, that's what they look like, and they hold pretty well. And I think they look pretty good. So that's how you'll make Pickles dreadlocks, and that's how you'll attach it to the bald cap. Like I said, it's not difficult, it's just incredibly tedious, but it does pay off in the end.